The Chicago Teachers Union is demanding, you guessed it, more money, not just for themselves, but for the LGBTQ and for the immigrants. Watch this.
This morning, outrage in Chicago, and here's why. The teachers union demanding $50 billion worth of changes in their contract negotiations, including facilities for migrants, really, free abortions, and a yearly raise of nearly 10% that could see salaries double. It's a staggering amount for teachers in a city where only 21% of 8th graders are proficient readers, and even less, 16% are proficient in math. Illinois parent Miley Smith is the Senior Director of Labor Policy at the Illinois Policy Institute. Miley, your reaction to these demands?
Well, CTU's leadership has a long history of progressive activism. It focuses on power and politics over what's best for teachers and students. And, you know, in 2022, it handpicked and bankrolled Mayor Brandon Johnson into office, one of their own employees. And so this was kind of to be expected. Now it's taking this opportunity of having one of its own across the bargaining table to advance its most radical agenda yet. And like you said, we've already seen the results of CTU's activism. Math and reading scores are plummeting. Just 1 in 4 students can read at grade level within Chicago public schools. It's even worse in math. It's even worse for low-income students. Chronic absenteeism is rising. Enrollment is dropping as people are leaving CPS. And this has all been while a radical slate of CTU leaders have been at the helm.
So right now, the average salary is $93,000. Look, I am not for, when you're in an urban environment, a lot of times it's harder to teach in an urban environment where you have single parent issues, and you definitely have salary issues and problems with 2 parents working or only 1 parent in the home. I get it. But you have the results are terrible. The average salary is $93,000. Now the average pay will increase, if this is okay, to $144,000 by 2027, 2028. Couldn't you link performance to salary and make this a win-win?
You know, that is something that the teachers unions, and particularly Chicago Teachers Union, rally against. They do not want teacher evaluations and performance at all linked to teacher pay or benefits, what's going on in the schools. In fact, in these contract demands, they are trying to water down evaluation criteria for teachers, making sure that they're evaluated less and that it really means less.
I just want to emphasize something I read into your interview. They care about getting facilities for illegal immigrants in their city. Why does that even matter? Number 2 is police-free schools. Really? Do you actually want a situation where your security, no one's watching your back, and security is not an issue? I mean, we've seen some of these videos of these teachers.
Right, and you know, this is just par for the course for them. They are not pushing things that are best for students. They are pushing things that are best for their leaders' political agenda. Other things that we see are climate justice demands, social justice demands, $2,000 per student for asylum seekers. They want housing for new teachers. None of this is typical for collective bargaining. These are an agenda of the leaders that have nothing to do with the students. Hey,
just real quick, give me a couple of things that you would, if you care about for the students' perspective and the families, what do you want in there?
I think we need to see better. We need to make sure that there is impartial bargaining, setting aside what the demands are or what should be in a collective bargaining agreement. Mayor Johnson is not a partial negotiator. What we have in him is collusion with the union, not negotiation. We need him to recuse himself so that there is someone at the bargaining table who is actually representing teachers and parents and the taxpayers within the city.
Right. He's a disaster, and we're going to see that at the DNC this year, a lack of security that's going to cost the city millions. Thanks so much. Appreciate it, Miley Smith. Appreciate it.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Now, this is sad. Stacey, come on now. Really? You're more concerned about the LGBTQ, teachers getting abortions, and immigrants getting monies every month? Really? $2,000 per family? Wow. This is ridiculous. Why you did not have that same energy for the blacks that's already living there? Those that are literally sleeping under viaducts because they're, guess what? Homeless. So the way I see it, and probably most of the Chicagoans that don't agree with this ridiculous more money agenda, is that this was the agenda all along. You've had an agenda. This is why Mayor Brandon got in office, because this was the agenda. It's sad. So sad. So sad. Who are you really for? Not even your own. This is ridiculous. I have an article here, and it says that Chicago Teachers Union's $50 billion demands include pay hikes, abortions, and migrant accommodations at $2,000 per migrant. Not just $2,000 per family, but $2,000 per migrant. Really? This is ridiculous. I mean, come on now. It also goes on to say that the Chicago Teachers Union is negotiating a new contract with the public school systems. And we already know about the LGBT related requirements and training in schools. What? New migrant services and facilities, and a host of course, again, the LGBT related requirements and training in schools. To put the figure into context, the total base tax receipts for the state of Illinois last year were $50.7 billion. The incredible demands are being made despite its members delivering underwhelming results for its students, with only 21% of the city's 8th graders being proficient readers, according to the Last Nation's report card, which provides national results about students' performance. Now, you're demanding all of this money, and then not only just the money, but all these other demands, but the teachers are not even performing. They're not performing to the point to where the students are performing. Their proficiency scores are very low. The nerve of you to ask for more money or ask or demand anything, and you can't even get the students to read and write well. I mean, come on now, really? They're not reading, writing, math, none of that. But you're asking for more money. And then to not, which is crazy. I mean, why wouldn't that be a part of getting more money anyway? The performance, how well your teachers are performing. That's with any job. Any job you work, they're not going to just give you a raise just because. You get a raise if you're performing. Because when you're not performing, guess what? You get fired. Fired. Not more money. You get fired. But these are the things that we deal with here in the city of Chicago, in the state of Illinois, all the crooks. Just a bunch of crooks, including you, CTU. Yes, you, Stacy. You're a crook. It's ridiculous how they're demanding all these things but not performing. And they don't have it's not like a lot of people that's agreeing with this. You know, they have some things that they've been saying about the CTU. And I'm going to tell you all about it. In the Illinois policy, I have an article. It says the Chicago Teachers Union is demanding a fleet of 100% green buses for Chicago public schools and other climate justice policies as part of its new contract demands. They also demanding that the Chicago Teachers Union leadership has a series of climate justice demands, including a full fleet of electric school buses and establishing a timeline for carbon-free schools. It says demands such as average teachers' raises of $51,000 are a small part of union demands that cover much more than wages and benefits. CTU President Stacey Davis Gates has said the 142 pages of demands could cost $50 billion and 3 cents. One electric school bus would cost $400,000, according to an estimate from the U.S. Department of Energy. The Environmental Protection Agency granted Chicago Public Schools more than $20 million to purchase 50 clean buses as part of its 2023 Clean School Bus Program grants competition. This is really, really sad. Not even 1/4 of SEIU HC2 spending is on representing workers, which should be its main priority. Yet, dozens of its own employees make six-figure salaries, and it has increased its spending on politics by nearly 9%. Oh yeah, plus spent over $30,000 at a pizza parlor. Nearly 1/3 of the workers represented by the Service Employees International Union, Healthcare Illinois, Indiana, or SEIUHC2 don't seem to think the union services are worth their money. The union's website claims it represents more than 91,000 workers in 4 states, but its most recent report to the U.S. Department of Labor revealed it has just over 62,000 members. That means at least 29,000 workers represented by SEIU have rejected union membership. How can a union represent more workers than are members? State or local government workers don't have to be members of the union representing their workplace if they don't want to be members. Workers can choose not to be members when they are hired, or they can opt out of membership later. Now, this is ridiculous, and I understand why they're not members. Just like many of the unions here, they're all about themselves. They want to take monies and pay union dues. Hey, if I can't keep my own job, then I didn't need it. I don't need no one to represent me to hold on to my job. Why do I need to pay somebody to help me hold on to my job? I'm going to go and do what I'm supposed to do for my job and do the things that I need to do as far as what the job is asking me to do. My job description, of course, I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it the best of my ability. And if I'm still terminated or fired or whatever you want to call it, because even after that, then that just means that job was not for me. Because if I can't hold on to my job, no union representative is going to be able to hold on to it. So I'm not really with the union thing anyway, because it's all about this. They're getting paid. That's it. Again, Stacey, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. So for those that are watching, please leave your comments. I would love to hear your thoughts on this one. And so for this and other content, subscribe. And also subscribe to Conversations with SDW. See you soon.